Oh, alright. Let's see. Well, only... Wow, just... I'm always amazed looking at, like, comparing the actual amount of time I spend playing something on stream and then look at, like, what that game's, like, elapsed timer decides to point out. Like, hour and 28 minutes, practically half of, like, my stream time. Like, that more than confirms it's pretty sure it's, like, it's just not counting any time you pause or on the map screen or looking at logs. Hey, Wrath, glad to see you here. It's your favorite Prime game. Or actually, no, I think it's, well, I forget. I forget if you said that, like, Prime 1 still ekes it out for you or not. I just know that you're, like, on the side of Prime 2 is fucking rad. Yeah, okay, right. I was almost mistaking that. I think I might have mistaken that for Gax. I think, like, Prime 2 is actually, like, his favorite of the trilogy. At least if I recall from, like, the list that he showed, like, on Backlogged or whatever it was. But yeah, we're here. We're back in Agon Wastes. Yeah. Majora Metroid. Sure. Yeah. But hey, it's like, at least now it's like we got a few tools to work with. We got our space jump back. We got missiles, obviously, plenty. Light beam and dark beam. I'll get this analogy over just you see. Yeah, I could just as easily go to you. Stop trying to make this this analogy happen like fetch. It's never gonna happen. Okay, trying to get back, get my bearings again about where I left off. Right, I had, yeah, like the end of the last stream, I had just come back from the Dark World to main reactor, so I gotta go back to the command center. Fetch is claiming other M has good gameplay. Oh god, that is so true. Alright. So yeah, let's just get back to the command center. Let's see, where is... Ah, there. Pyro Grenadier. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time to be alive. And not just streaming Metroid, but as the title obviously suggests, based on what I went for in Prime 1, this is another 100% playthrough. The fan base is finally at peace. Yeah. Just the last thing we need now is to, like, have Retro show us Prime 4, and that it's gonna be, like, another amazing step forward for this, like, 3D series of Metroid games, you know? That'll be an extra great time when that happens. Okay. Alright, now to exit through the light door up top. Got it. I will say, like, during the first stream for this... Oh, yeah, I think Prime 4 switched successor now, so I'm patient. Oh, God, that might be the case, yeah. I just at least hope whenever Switch successor comes out that it will be around the time that we can be past this, like, current, like, scarcity of electronic parts that we have going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, I actually mentioned with, at the start of when I started streaming Prime 2 last night, it was that, like, of all the times I've, like, beaten Prime 2, it had only ever been on the Trilogy version. This is technically going to be the first time I actually do, like, a full playthrough of the Gamecube original, which, of course, means I'm going to be getting firsthand, like, dealing with some of the game's more infamous bosses like as they were originally designed before they got tuned down in the trilogy. Okay, anything else I can blow up around here? Quadraxis in his true glory. I don't even think Quadraxis was necessarily like a victim of like whatever nerfs they did. I think it was all focused around Boost Guardian and Spider Guardian because those were the ones everyone complained the most about. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, at the very least, like, one thing I noted is that, like, even if, like, in my head I'm always, I really thought Quadraxis was it, but that's maybe because I know a guy who quit there. Yeah, it was absolutely more a case of, like, it was the Boost Guardian and Spider Guardian. Spider Guardian I can obviously get because that is the sort of thing where, because of how that plays out, if I recall, you're in Dark Ether during that time, and it's before you have the light suit, and they don't have a lot of safe zones, so you're essentially on a timer to beat that thing. Boost Guardian, meanwhile, is like, he's just an asshole. Another hunter wearing the traditional colors of Samus Aran made Planetfall today. Horrific as it may sound, there are 2 of them now. We are so fucked. Perhaps we can forge an alliance with the Dark Hunter. In exchange, face on for the head of our common enemy. Oh, space pirates, you people never learn. Okay. No, okay, it's not that. I guess I didn't quite blow up everything I needed to on this turret. Yeah, Prime 2 at the end of the day, it's like... It adds to something that, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm losing my words on this, but... I think, God, what am I gonna say? Right, it's like... Like, despite, like, the critiques I have about Echoes, just how often I will, like, talk about elements of it I don't like or wish were done better, I cannot still, like, deny the fact that, like, when I get my hands on playing it again, it still feels good, and it, like, alleviates those initial, like, misgivings I have. Even when I know I'm gonna go through areas that I know are, like, not my favorite. You know, it's just because everything about controlling Samus and all your weapons and stuff, it just is a smart refinement. Okay. The thrice-cursed Ing prepared an ambush of singular cunning in the mining station. Caught me in it like a neophyte fresh from the training halls. I've scored their numbers to whatever foul pit they call afterlife, but in vain my life is extinguished. I love how much, despite the visual design of the Luminoth, you get the testament, like, you start scanning, like, the testaments of, like, these fallen Luminoth, and they are just the most, like, combat zealot, like, dudes ever. Like, they are, like, the way they talk about, like, extinguishing their enemy, it's like they're bred for war. The problems a lot of us have had with any of Fusion, Zero Mission, Prime 2, and 3 feels very quaint nowadays. It really does. Especially when even back then, when some of those were, like, games that people had the biggest problem with, I was always on the side of, fuck you, Fusion is great. It manages to work as its own thing, and that's what counts. That's the mark of a great franchise, really. Okay. All right. Portal access. Portal terminal. Right, that's where we need to go. Okay. There we go. Ooh, just barely. You play the game and you're like, what? These rule. These just aren't the greatest games ever made, which, hey, supers don't happen often. That's true. And even then, I'm now at the point where it's like, at least for 2D games, super is no longer the high bar for me. There's clearly, you know, Dread, from my perspective, Dread has managed to prove that there is better. There's a new bar. Yeah. It really is still like a special franchise. Dread is second place for me. Yeah, totally understand that. Even though it's like, I kind of hold, like, the way I revere Dread these, ever since playing it is in a manner kind of similar to, like, how I feel about stuff like Prey or The Wonderful 101. Games that are so clearly made in modern times, but, like, and are so immaculately made that that anytime I see people somehow not say it's their favorite or not like in the upper echelon of that series or style of game, I just go, what is wrong with you? You know? That's the kind of good quality that Dread is that we're talking about, where it's like you'd have to be insane not to realize how much it is pushing so many things forward for that series, let alone, like, genre. Isn't it funny we feel this way about a Mercury Steam game? I know. I'm still in disbelief of it. But then again, that disbelief doesn't really last too long, because it's like, I think about other times Nintendo has worked with, like, Western devs and, like, gotten them into shape to actually put out something decent, and I am forever reminded of what I'm pretty sure is my actual favorite GameCube game, which is funny because you think it would be Metroid Prime, considering how much I love it, but no, it's Eternal Darkness. Like, God bless Nintendo for, like, keeping Dennis Diak's ego and ambitions in check just so they could put out an actually good game. Yeah. Yeah, they're both still good. I mean, it's like 2002, I will at least say in my mind, was the best year the GameCube ever had, precisely because of both Metroid Prime and Eternal Darkness. Like, they were both so strong for me in that regard. Yeah, it's... For GameCube, I'm still mixed on that, and a lot of that kind of comes from... It comes from, like, a general rule that, like, I found, at least when I thought about it, has very little exceptions. The idea is that, like, if there was, like, a Nintendo first-party franchise that had, like, a debut on the N64, I generally like that more, like, that 3D outing on the N64 more than their GameCube version. Whereas, if it made their debut on GameCube, I like it a whole lot, and it's a defining part of that platform. So it's like, Metroid skipped out on N64, and thus Prime 1 and 2 are incredible. Mario made his 3D debut with 64, and Sunshine's just not as good. Ditto with, like, the Zeldas. And also, of course, there's the matter that N64 has Star Fox 64, and GameCube had the audacity to give us two games that were part of Star Fox and were like, well, one's dreadful, the other is just mid at best. Also, N64 has Sin and Punishment. Enough said. Alright. Gonna work our way around to that. There we go, save station. I can kind of see that. Yeah, I suppose so. I think it also is just the sort of thing where it's like... Link is a... Oh god, that is... I was not prepared for that kind of comparison, for that kind of description of, like, Wind Waker Link. But god, now I cannot unsee that. Also, holy shit, now I just want, like, a Zelda cartoon that is just in the style of Powerpuff Girls. That'd be way too fucking good. Oh, man. But yeah, also, I think just, like, another part of it for the GameCube is that another major factor of, like, games that I like on that as far as output are, like, some of the stuff that is specifically from, like, their second parties or even just third parties that had the idea of, like, you know, we're just gonna make games for this thing, like Capcom, you know? Like, the Capcom 5, as much as it did not pan out exactly as Shinji Mikami wanted, I felt was still a pretty valuable addition to, like, defining the GameCube's library, you know? It's how we got Beautiful Joe, we got Remake, which technically wasn't part of the Capcom 5, but it was still amazing, and of course RE4. And then, of course, like, Rogue Squadron 2, you know? Factor 5 did, like, an incredible job with that. Okay, and look at that. We're coming up on our boss. Yeah, it's like, I can obviously get, like, the reasons for, like, why someone may not, like, the Wii's output as much. Admittedly, like, you already know I'm not a Wii U guy. Oh, yeah. And for what it's worth, I'm not even that much of a Wii U guy either. But it's like, I still have, like, a certain level of fondness for, like, the Wii's library. Like, even though it was emblematic of a time where, like, Nintendo was, like, probably at their most hand-holdy in terms of game design. Okay, I actually gotta go that way in order to get the final key. But at the same time, it's like... I mean, obviously, like, the Prime 3, and then obviously, like, the Trilogy collection was, like, an amazing addition to that. I like both Galaxy games, even though 2 is, like, clearly better than 1. I have enough of a fondness for Skyward Sword that, like, its highs kind of outweigh the obvious lows that it has. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, also, Sin and Punishment 2. Yeah, how fitting that both the N64 and the Wii are the ones that, like, I kind of hold higher in esteem than the GameCube just because they have some of the best treasure games. That and, like, this may or may not be, like... I guess this actually gets less into the matter of, like, its game library as much as its usefulness in terms of, like, hardware when modded, but... I fucking love using the Wii just in terms of, like, what you can do with it when soft-modded. And, like, basically run emulators of, like, old 8 and 16-bit games to get to, like, basically do more justice to the virtual console concept than Nintendo ever did. Because like the homebrew emulators for like NES, SNES, Genesis, all that stuff, like it works out like, especially when you got it hooked up to a CRT as well. Like it basically gives you the same effect that they were trying to go for. Of it's just like the games as they were as you remember, except way more because we are not putting them up on a store every week to charge you piecemeal. Okay, all right. Just gonna get started on this major fight with a three-headed graboid. Or no, it's just three graboids. They're all connected to an orb. Got it. Time for Amorphous. Morbus, rather. There we go. Come on. Damn it. Amorbus 1. Okay. Let's see what this has, just so I'm reminded of how it works. Gigantic tunneling guardians. Avoid target as it enters and leaves the earth. Look for disturbances in the ground. Target cannot survive for long if its outer shell is cracked. Can move through solid rock and earth with ease. Sense the location of surface level prey deep within the ground. Yeah, so vibrations, sounds, echoes, if you were. They're vulnerable to all forms of weapon fire, but are incredibly strong and resistant to pain. Yeah, so just shoot at it until until it moves on. Ah. There we go. And now Amorbus 2. What does this say? Dark Amorbus, dark energy charged guardian. Targets gain armor, beam weapon, and regenerative powers when fused to Dark Sphere. Weak spot within mouth detected. Concussive force will deliver heavy damage to it. Right. There we go. Yep. Got it. Oh, yeah. It's funny, like, this is the first proper boss, while everything else had been, like, basically mini-boss tier. But even, like, what they had for mini-bosses were still really, really good. This is, like, the first sign that lets you know that, like, Retro's, like, boss design went up by a huge margin. Ah. Okay. Where are you at, bastard? Got it! Oh yeah, now we got two of them again. It's funny, it's like, the more I think about it, the progression does, like, feel very close to, like, what they have with stuff like Flagra, where it's just, like, each phase is just, like, yeah, deal with, like, more of the same thing. It's, like, it's increasing one by one per phase or whatever it is. So you have stuff where it's, like, with Flagra, it was, like, each phase of the fight involved... Hold on, let me get in here to... Yep! Take care of that. But yeah, it's the sort of thing where, like, the, with Flagra, you had a situation where, like, every phase, like, the sun mirrors, like, more of them would pop down, and then you would eventually have to, like, shoot them all and, like, increase the speed at which you shot them to deny Flagra, like, its solar power. Here, it's more like, yeah, It's the sort of thing where, as each phase goes along, you have to deal with more of these Amorbus worms at once. Okay, come on. Okay, just keep shooting. Okay, come on. There. Alright, now, next part of the... Oh, wait, no, there's still one more over there. God damn it. Okay, is that it? Yes! Okay. All three at once now. You now gotta keep dealing with like these goddamn lasers. There. Nice. Yeah, this fight really is just like Flagra 2.0. You know, even down to the fact that, like, the Morph Ball is how you deal significant damage to it. But it's at least a more interesting kind of way about going about it, I guess. Still doesn't compare to, like, the later bosses, at least. Especially Quadraxis. That's a legendary fight. Ah, yes, and here we go. Dark Suit. The first upgrade in making navigation of Dark Aether slightly more tolerable. And also a really bitchin' design. Yeah, it's like, look at that! Always had more trouble with the Boost Guardian than Quadraxis. Yeah, that's like... Yeah, everyone had trouble with them. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. There, now, like... We step outside of the safe zones, our health drains at about the exact same rate as our health recharges when we're inside these safe zones, which is... so much nicer. Oh my god. Now to just transfer the energy back to the proper temple in Agon, and then we are done with this first visit. But gosh, I love the dark suit. I actually like both of like the suits that you get in Prime 2. That is definitely one of the things that I can say is like that is absolutely like a cool part of the game that you can't really find much reason to like complain about, because it is the sort of thing where like Prime 1's new suits were obviously like they were sticking, of course, like in Prime 1, very closely to being as much of Super Metroid in 3D as possible, and that was even down to the down to just treating a lot of the your suit upgrades very similarly in that game, you know? Like, the regular power suit was noticeably different because of the lack of big ball shoulders, pauldrons, whatever. But then everything from Very Suit, Gravity Suit, and Phazon Suit were essentially palette swaps. Here, it's like they come up with actual new designs for each suit that gives it, like, a different look and slightly different silhouette. It's fantastic. Also, the thing that I always kind of liked about, like, the Dark Suits design is that with the pauldrons looking the way they do, it honestly just, like, gave me, like, weirdly enough, like, Transformers vibes of all things. Like, it made me think that, like, Samus could just transform instead of into a morph ball into, like, a little mini scooter or something. You know, just something real silly. But yeah, because it's like, you just look at it, it's like they're no longer the perfect spheres that they used to be. And of course, the morph balls change, looks change too. Yeah, exactly. It's very, very nice. Okay. Ah, damn it. Wait, no. Okay. And come on, die. Okay. God, it's just like, I know I could just use, like, light ammo would help so much, but because of how the ammo drop system works, it's like, it is stupid to try and use dark ammo on them because of, like, the fact that they're naturally going to be, like, more resistant to it. Alright. Let's just get back to regular ether as soon as we can. Yo, Wrath, welcome back. We just beat a Morbus. We got the Dark Suit. Dark Suit is still rad as ever. Curse the biological need to shit. I know, it's a bitch, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, but yeah, like, I know about that strat. The problem is just more the, I've found it's always been a matter more of, like, trying to properly lure them into it. Because I feel like I've had, like, inconsistent luck actually getting them to get in there. Okay. We're back here. Let's try and farm a bit more light ammo drops from here as best we can. Ah. Alright, fine. Come on. Warrioring are slippy little devils, I'll grant you that. Absolutely. I mean, the fact that you could even, like, target them when they're in those, like, shadowy ink pools. Well, like, you can shoot at them, rather, is what I say. You can't really lock onto them, like, which is kind of the core problem that you run into when trying to deal with them. Because, yeah, they're meant to be very crafty. It is generally a lot easier to catch other Dark Ether enemies in a supercharged light crystal than it is with the Warrior Ing specifically. Okay. And now we can finally return to the normal world. Can't get enough of that suit. I ultimately think I like the design of the dark suit more than the light suit, but even then, that's not to say that the light suit is like a bad-looking design, you know? It's like they both excel at like very different aesthetics that I appreciate. Got it. Really, you actually dig like the PED suit? Like admittedly, the full name, but it's one of the PED suits. Okay, it's I guess it's one of the variants. Like the more you have it upgraded, I guess that makes sense. Like as I always remembered, like what felt like the reason behind like the design sense of like the PED suit in Prime 3 was that it was literally Galactic Federation tech just being bolted onto Samus's like Chozo armor, you know? So like it looks very out of place when you first get the PED suit, but obviously once you go up in like phase-on corruption as the game progresses, and like you start glowing more neon blue and purple, it starts to meld in a lot better, I think. Bulky purple shoulders with the phase-on blue lights. Absolutely, yeah. Yep, exactly. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, that was definitely around that point where like the PED design starts to fit better. Random tech of being bolted on is certainly part of it, but it's usually done in a more elegant, like, internal way, you know? Galactic Federation tech, meanwhile, is, like, it's very clearly shown, like, externally. Like, yeah, we're just gonna do this shit and see what happens. Bolting random DNA into herself is a real passion, though. Yeah, that's the truth, all right. Samus Aran, the galaxy's, like, most powerful walking petri dish. Samus needs rehab. Yeah, it's like at this point, like, you know, species is more of a guideline than an actual set of rules. That's true, yeah. Yeah, at this point, it's like, therapy is no longer what she needs, because I'm pretty sure, like, given her entire career, she no longer needs to, like, have the kind of problems that she probably did growing up, considering her parents got killed by space pirates. But yeah, rehab for all the crazy alien shit that she's just putting into her body, that absolutely probably should happen one of these days. That's our mistake, asking for more games. She finally gets clean and we shake a baggie of alien chromosomes at her. Oh no. Oh man. Metroid 6, Samus goes straight edge. Okay. First step of recovery is realizing she has a problem. The second one is usually getting morph balls and bombs back. Yeah. God, I still love so much how, like, Dread just deliberately denies you getting the morph ball and bombs back, like, for so long. Like that is like the biggest example of them being all like, we have this new mechanic where you can slide through like small waist-high holes, you know? Let's make you do that first for like for like several minutes before we let you turn into a ball again. And it worked. It worked really well. Alright. When the high of killing a big alien wears off and Samus goes through 8 years of withdrawal. Oh no. Poor Samus. God, that must have... You know what? Screw it. That's the actual, I think, explanation that we can give now for why Samus sometimes starts without her powers, even though we are not shown an instance in which that she is, like, has them taken away. Do you think every time she rehabs, there's a timer and the building explodes? Oh... Nothing Samus does seems like something that can just, like, it is basically a coin flip in Samus's career, whether or not the place she's going to go to is either going to be left as is, or literally blown out of the galaxy. Blanks. She's just the head caretaker. Metroids keep trying to strap her down, but she won't stop. They try to restrain her, and she just turns into a ball and rolls away. They have no idea what to do. They already tried to replicate it, and it just horribly disfigured everyone. All right. Okay, the next room I need to go to is the right. Just a drug trafficking operation. Considering that they had the bright idea to engineer a bioweapon that was somehow designed to help deal with an even worse invasive parasitic species, like, I am not surprised. Their idea to counteract a bad idea is to come up with an even more bad idea. Are you sure the Chozo weren't just, like, a distant relative of the space pirates? Because that seems like a very space pirate science team thing of them to do. Like, space pirates in this game are like their tech support routines are like, okay, you tried that. Have you tried applying Phazon to it? Chozo support's more like, have you tried using Metroids? First step, invent a solution for a problem that doesn't need solving. Exactly. First step of damn near every Silicon Graphics, like, Silicon Valley tech company. Second step, call the solution a problem. And of course... third step, never call the solution an answer. Or maybe do. I'm not sure. Wait, hold on. I think... Oh, god damn it. I think amidst all this talk of, like... But we're disruptive. Yeah, disruptive to the whole galaxy. God damn it. I completely forgot to, like, scan a particular thing, like, a couple rooms back. Create more problems and then don't solve it. Jesus. Yeah. Let me... Yeah, something in the mining plaza that I just completely forgot to pick up on the scan visor. Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah, because it's an amber door. Oh, God, yeah. That's right. Oh, well, I completely forgot that there was even this map station here. It's not a problem unless the VC money stops, then it's a rare investment opportunity. Oh, man. Invest in rebuilding Zebus. God. Metroid. Even its own galaxy is not free from the terrible clutches of capitalism. Tim Curry's nightmare was made manifest. The one place that had yet to be corrupted by capitalism was far more corrupted than he could ever have dreamed. Spice! There it is. There's paradise. Aether was a fertile, aged world with bountiful fields and oceans. All this amazing scenery you never get to actually witness. Native creatures were gentle compared to other worlds we had encountered. No shriek bats here. Oh, God. Okay. I think my mind is starting to check out. Rubbing Phazon onto the blockchain with deep learning AI. I can't. I fucking can't. Just one of you make an NFT joke regarding, like, space pirate schemes, and then just, like, we're tapped out. Oh my god. Okay. Now we can go back to the temple grounds proper. Now that I scanned that piece of lore that is part of several that are so easy to miss. Like I made mention during the first stream last night where I was taken aback by how much I forgot that, like, the Luminoth lore in comparison to the Chozo lore is, like, so much of it is a lot easier to miss, and there's less of, like, there are less instances of it, like, being somewhere in plain sight. Like, think about this. Like, look around here. Like, I spent a good few minutes, like, in this room before heading to the Agon Wastes, and even going to Agon Wastes, then back, because I was like, am I missing something? I thought there was supposed to be a lore projector around here. And no, they expect you to go to the edge of, like, this opening in the cavern. Like, man. Like, I know Retro said that they consciously wanted to make Prime 2 a harder game than 1. And in terms of, like, battles or whatever, they certainly did. I don't know if necessarily, like, hiding those lore projectors the way they did was necessarily, like, an important part of it. Oh, well. Buy 0.297 shares of this Ridley NFT. You start making money when he comes back to the moon. Yeah, that's how it works. Like, the value of NFTs and cryptos in this universe basically goes up and down depending on, like, what state of, like, death and or undeath Ridley is in. If Ridley is alive, shares go up. If Ridley is alive, but like as a robotic life form, then shares slightly down, but not too much. Yeah, same. It's like there's like they do a lot to just hide these things a whole lot more. Cradecoin owners were so close to being liquid. They were so close until your boy came back for Dread, which if the Dread concept art was anything to go by, he was forcibly brought there. It wasn't really anything done by choice. Anyway, to a prime 2 points, I love the Luminoths. Same. I definitely like them as well. They have a very, we need more cool alien species that aren't just Chozo. Yeah, it's like stuff that isn't just Chozo, but are still able to carry on, like, some of those Chozo qualities, you know? Like, there are spacefaring species that have, like, they have a certain wisdom and technological level to them that is similar. But obviously, as noted with, like, some of the Luminoth testimonies, there's clearly, like, there's clearly a sign that they are way more down for being just hardcore warriors should the need arise. Yeah. Mostly chill, and unlike the Chozo, mostly not dead. For sure. Also, we have not had a Luminoth go rogue and splinter off into its own warrior tribe that wants to bring ruin to the galaxy. You know? We do not have, like, a Mockin tribe / Ravenbeak scenario. So that's all fine. Okay. So should be able to get a missile expansion around here. Yep, right there. Nice. Well, Chozo are dead now. That's true. Yep, just everything from planet ZDR dead, destroyed, nothing left. No Chozo, no indigenous wildlife, nothing, and no X. Actually, no. That might be. Okay, obviously, like, enough time has passed that it's like, I feel like I can't keep dancing around, like, spoiler-related stuff for Dread, because it's like, there are some details that I've seen people catch on with that game that have, like, kind of recontextualized some things about it, which, Wrath, I'm not sure if this was something you saw or noticed, like, in your own playthrough, or was something that, like, you saw brought up elsewhere. This is something that I saw, like, someone linked in, like, in a Reddit post or whatever. It's basically, like, in the final area and showing, like, the same room that you go through before the self-destruct sequence and after. It's like, you see, like, before the Ravenbeak fight and all that, you see something that's, like, a couple of, like, Chozo warrior ships that are parked. And then when you're going through the self-destruct sequence after you beat Ravenbeak, those ships are gone. And considering the situation of how the planet just gets infested by X, it's like, there are some hardcore dark implications with that, like, oh no. Oh no, the X are not down for good. They never will be. I mean, that was, like, a pretty amazing... Yeah, Flubber returns. Like, I mean, like, and that's kind of the great part about it, is just, like, it's something the game doesn't draw attention to, like, explicitly. It's just a subtle environment detail that most people don't pick up on unless they're, like, really, like, digging through, like, on repeat playthroughs, because, you know, that's where a Metroid game really shines. And they notice that, like, that at least gives them leeway for, like, whenever they may want to do, like, a Metroid 6, when, like, at what time that may be, they'll at least have, like, another good excuse to get away with, well, the X are back. They're still a threat. Samus is the only one that can deal with them. Or maybe something else entirely. Maybe they'll forget it. Who knows? They did seem to, like, conveniently forget the fact that by the end of Fusion, it seems to portray, like, Samus as possibly no longer being on good terms with the Federation, considering she snubbed their plans for capturing the X. Yeah, that's definitely something where I think, yeah, now that, like, Dread has been so successful, like, another 2D Metroid game, like a Metroid 6, may actually be more likely to come out soon than people would think otherwise. Which, that'll be nice. I'll be curious to kind of see, like, well, like, what that would even be like, and, you know, how much expectations will probably be looming over them now that they have, like, set a new bar on so many elements with Dread. But as it stands, though, it's like, I still want to, like, the next biggest priority as far as Metroid goes is we need Prime 4, for sure. We need to see how that's shaped up, and be able to, like, have more proof that even though they've not done a new game in a long while, that that Retro still got it. As far as I know, Dread's budget was modest, but so I can imagine they're working on that now. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, working with 3D graphics has certainly got to, like, help a lot with, like, the HD pipeline as opposed to, like, just doing something traditionally, traditional 2D. Ah, yeah. And there's the line that basically shows that, yeah, there's still more Luminoth alive besides Umos. He's just keeping everyone safe in cold storage. Yeah, it's like 2019, I'm pretty sure, was when the announcement was made that they restarted the development. You know? And assuming that, like, that Retro's, like, development processes are still as efficient as they seem to be based on interviews with, like, ex-staff, then, like, hopefully, like, it really won't be too long until we see Prime 4, you know, like, within the next 2 years. Hopefully, maybe within 1. Because Retro, like, historically, especially after Prime 1, does not seem like the type of studio that goes in with a plan for building a game that is, like, not designed to be as, like, time efficient and, like, developer healthy as possible, considering how they've made a big deal of trying to, like, avoid crunch, which is a big deal for a Western studio. I'll say as much. Alright. Let's head back to the Temple Sanctuary. Yeah, maybe in terms of, like, yeah, I'm actually, like, not entirely sure, like, what might remain. Maybe, like, certain art assets or, like, story concepts. That's probably what I could imagine. I'd have to think that, like, maybe, like, there would be, like, less that was carried over in terms of, like, gameplay fundamentals. Just because if there was a reason to give the development back to Retro Studios, it would probably to make sure that it would absolutely play well. Yeah, Tanabe. Kensuke Tanabe is who you're thinking of. I wonder if Nintendo's going to try to tie some new Switch model or controller gimmick to it. I mean, I feel like at this point, like, where Prime 4 is going to release, I feel it might be a situation where it's like, it'll still be a Switch game with no new console in sight. They'll have a new console that it will launch on, and it might end up being like a cross-generation title or something like that. Who knows? I guess it kind of depends on, like, if Retro's, like, current ideas and ambitions for what Prime 4 is going to be might be something that is a bit too much for the current Switch hardware. Like, who knows if that's the case? Yeah. Yeah, and like, yeah, and considering that it is like, it's Silex, that is like, that Tanabe keeps hyping up, and he's been like a producer, like a high-level producer on the Prime series since the beginning. It's like, that really is just the one thing that can be easily guaranteed as like as like the easiest thing to guess that will happen in Prime 4. As far as how Silex will be used, like, that could be anyone's guess. Like, bringing over a character that originally existed in a spin-off for the DS doesn't necessarily mean that, like, the design is going to be, like, inherently limited to a very specific game type because of that. There's all kinds of ways that they could go about doing their own implementation of, like, a rival character in a main in a main proper Metroid game. Yeah, Federation Force and Prime 3 after credits, like, tease them both times. Yeah, just thinking about, just hope he ends in Primes 4, because I'm not ready for a Silex trilogy. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, because, like, as someone who's, like, who enjoyed Hunters back in the day, even knowing that, like, it's a hard spin-off, and it's not, like, and it has its own gameplay problems, obviously, I still appreciated the characters they introduced, and I was always down for the idea of Silex coming back, but it was always with the idea that it would be, like, him just coming back for one game. Because his character does not strike me as the type of thing that would be, like, a persisting threat akin to, like, Dark Samus, or, you know, Phazon as a whole. Like, or even the X-Parasites, I guess, if we're going with, like, Fusion and Dread. I mean, I could kind of get, like, why Silex is the guy that they end up pushing, is because he's, like, it's between him and I believe it was Weevil that are, like, the two characters that have some amount of, history tied to Samus anyway. Like, Weevil's the whole deal in that game is that he was like a space pirate that was at Zebes during the events of Metroid 1, got fucked up by Samus and had his brain transplanted into a cybernetic body. So, like, that was one. But then the other with Silex is that, like, and the other big reason for that is, like, he has beef with the Federation and Samus, and everything else about him, they play up the fact that, like, even in Hunters, that his whole backstory is, like, is a mystery. Yeah, Weevil sounds way cooler, but the reason they don't go with him, I'm pretty sure why Tanabe doesn't, like, think as much about him, is because they feel like that backstory says everything that needs to be said about him. Silex, meanwhile, is just, like, a mysterious dude who appears vaguely humanoid and just absolutely hates the shit out of the Federation and Samus specifically. So it's like, why that is, no one knows, and they really love to tease the fact that the people at Nintendo, that they know and that they're not telling anyone yet. So it's hard to say. And yeah, I know, like, with Ravenbeak, like, the one-time rival, like, he, like, did it so well. But like, obviously, that was, like, for, like, a 2D Metroid game. I would at least like to see one that, like, could achieve that same effect, but in the context of a Prime game. Like the Grumpy Hunter Justice League in Prime 3 better anyway. Yeah, the Hunters in that game were good. Dark Samus... yeah, Dark Samus just doesn't feel quite as close to, like, that, I guess. I don't know. That is the sort of thing where, like, if you really think about it, Dark Samus is just Metroid Prime. That's the whole point. That was the entire implication of when they made that, like, 100%, like, post-credits teaser ending in Prime 1. Where you saw that hand coming out of Metroid Prime's essence, and it's clearly supposed to imply, like, Dark Samus. In time, the roar of a wounded planet subsided. The air, though foul, was breathable. Light made its way through the dark veil over our world. Slowly, we ventured out from the shelters of our home to see what remained of our paradise. And it was screwed. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's ultimately, like, the big reason for why I don't really count Dark Samus as much as, like, as a personal rival in that regard. Because it is, like... It's the sort of thing where, like, it does share, like, a kind of similar category to the SAX, you know? It's the evil doppelganger. You know? A doppelganger's not the same as a rival. Yep. Okay. Yeah, mirror fights have a long, undistinguished history in video games. They sure do. And it's like, they're always, like, most fun when it's like, the person that's supposed to mirror you still has, like, unique traits about themselves, you know? As opposed to being, like, a carbon copy, you know? That's why you see so often when people talk about, like, rivals in video games that are, like, rivals to the player, like, they'll just refer to them as being a Virgil. Because that's, like, the most popular and, like, one of the best, like, done versions of that sort of rivalry in video games. All because of, like, Devil May Cry 3. Just Dante and Virgil just being, like, opposites but still similar in a lot of ways. And just providing for, like, some of the best boss fights of action gaming, period. They've already made the character model animations. Might as well just palette swap and call it Epic Storyline. Oh, God, yeah. That said, though, it's like, well, I've not really gotten myself to, like, try and, like, play through Hunters again, just because it's not as comfortable to kind of play through on an emulator, due to how it was always designed to work on a DS touchscreen. I at least did get myself, like, refamiliarized with, like, kind of watching, like, people's, like, old recorded playthroughs of, like, multiplayer from Hunters and even Silex gameplay, and being reminded of, like, how, like, his tools, like, have something that's, like, unique to himself compared to the, compared to Samus, obviously. Like, yeah, obviously, like, all the characters in Hunters, they're, like, in order to, like, have something at least somewhat similar to Samus, they needed to have, like, a, like, their own morph ball equivalent was the idea. And, like, Silex's admittedly is, like, very weird looking, but the thing that I felt was interesting was, like, how it approached having a, like, a morph ball bomb for Silex, where it's not like the traditional type of bombs that Samus has. It's more like, it's basically creating, like, a series of tripwires. So it's the sort of thing where you could lay two bombs, and, like, whichever position they're at, they basically create like an electric line between the two. And I thought that was always, like, a pretty cool way, and especially kind of further solidified as well that they had only really thought of, like, a lot of the ideas in Hunters to really work in the context of, like, an actual multiplayer setting. So yeah, it's like if they're doing Silex for real. Hold on. Right. Okay, I clearly went about activating these in the wrong order. Right, this whole puzzle. Yeah, I don't know. I'm admittedly definitely losing a lot of my train of thought on things as I'm trying to manage all these particular puzzles. Okay, yeah, so it's like, I think... Right, okay. So that closes on the right side of that. The ones in the middle, I'm pretty sure, close along the left. Now, all of these close along the left. Right, so... Close that, and then bomb these, and then we get this thing, this puzzle solved. And we can get out of this hellscape. There we go. And we get ourselves a little elevator tram. How nice. Okay. Yeah, good enough. Yeah, this is not a bad puzzle room. Prime 2 definitely does like a good job with like kind of expanding the these sort of ideas from like what they had initially messed around with in Prime 1. Oh wait, hold on, there's one more skin I completely forgot to check down here. That's right, shoot. Yeah, it's these things. God damn it, I have to take the ride again just because I forgot to scan these along the way. God, it's like... It's weird. Like, the scans I found myself almost missing every time in this game are for, like, enemies that have, like, clear analogs to things that existed in Prime 1. Like, those Sentry, like, laser eyes had obviously, like, existed in Prime 1. You know? I also had a moment where, like, I initially missed the Shriek Bats. Okay. But now we're actually done in this part of Dark Aether, and we can move on to what I feel most people should be able to agree on, the worst area of Prime 2. And that's Torvus Bog. It has great music, but I can safely say that's really only the best thing it has going for it. Shriek Bats are always a bit tricky since they spend so little time existing unless you know where they sleep. Yeah, exactly. And you'd be surprised, and you probably would not be surprised if I told you that when I first saw the Shriek Bats, I completely forgot that that was the spot they first show up in. So I had no time to actually beat them, to scan them. It was only on on the second trip back through that room that I was able to scan them again properly. Yeah, they're always tricky bastards. That's for sure. Oh yeah, referring to the blogs. Yeah, definitely. It is at least the sort of thing where, like, once you get to Torvus Bog, well, it's like, by the time that you are partway through Torvus Bog and you finally get the gravity boost, I think that's when, like, going through that area starts to become more tolerable. But that kind of belies the thing that I kind of don't like what it does in comparison to, like, what Prime 1 did, where it's like, this makes you go through, like, underwater areas that slow your movement and weigh down on you for so much longer than I feel is, like, kind of tolerable, like, in the context of Prime. Just because you move, because, like, the movement speed and, like, way you explore is naturally slower than it is in the 2D games. you know? Because in Prime 1, you remember, the room you get the gravity suit is like the last time that you're expected to wade through water without it. Oh, the blocks are the sperm fish. The dog things are the Grenchlers. Okay, right. Okay, I think I'm remembering now. Okay. You have a good day, Wrath. Thanks for stopping by, man. Okay. There we go. And it's also so frustrating, too, for me with Torvus Bog, because it's like, it's my least favorite area, and it is the area that immediately precedes my favorite area in this game. Just quickly hydrating myself. Yeah, because it's like, Torvus is just, like, the weakest for me, and I almost, I really love Sanctuary Fortress so much. And that I'm always reminded that, like, I have to go through this part first before I can get to the really good shit. Simple transport access. There should be a... Ah, there it is. There's the hanging pod. Field cache for Luminoth military. Some may still contain useful items left over. Yeah, just the little health orb. Okay. There's a bearer pod. Living storage units. But you can also see what I mean when I talk about, like, the biggest redeeming factor for me about Torvus Bog is the music. Like, both tracks. Like, this one when you first get here, combined with the, Nope, don't. Shredder, exploding flying plants. Great, great. At least I got his scan on one of them. Yeah, but just, like, both music tracks that you get, one during the first half and then the other when you're properly underwater, are both terrific. They came to the lagoon in the night, delivering true death blows before I could detect them. As my life faded, I sent a call to the cadre to warn of the surprise attack. Find my key, dispatch the Ing who killed me. Only then will my final rest be peaceful. Ooh, hidlings. Yeah, that is absolutely, like, a big factor of it. It's actually the sort of thing where, like, thinking about it, I probably would not be as bothered too much by needing to, like, wade through this water if, like, being underwater without the gravity boost didn't limit your draw distance. I think that's what really gets me, like, arguably more than the color palette. Funny enough, actually, like, going back to Dread, as far as, like, instances in the series where, like, the game forces you to go through water without the gravity suit before you get it, Dread, I think, might have, like, the best instance of that sort of, like, progression yet. Because there are places where you go through underwater parts, like, a whole lot, and they make it work because that game, like, over time, like, gives you... They give you other abilities you normally would have, like, after the gravity suit. Like, you get the space jump in Dread before you actually get the gravity suit. And that ends up playing a big part in, like, making it feel like you're steadily making more progress in exploring the underwater areas before it finally rewards you with the good old gravity suit. And it's like, not only do you have it now, but you also have space jump. So literally this underwater area is just bending to your will now. Alright. These things are cute, though. They're like weird alien seahorses. I mean, look how they move around. Too bad we have to kill them, though, because we're Samus Aran. Galactic Exterminator. Not the sea monkeys. Especially the sea monkeys. Okay. Great bridge. Oh. Oh, right, these things. They go invisible. Flying planet predator, bursts from Earth and takes flight, fires sonic blast, generates stealth fields that disrupts most visors. Yeah. Yeah, and it just creates a field that completely negates your ability to use missiles. Like, what assholes? Okay. Come on. Yeah, not really the... Yeah, fine. Light beam it is. Okay. There should be another thing that we can scan. Right, there's the Sentinel Crystal. Used to monitor key sites, used by Luminos soldiers to observe tactical areas during the war. Yeah, surveillance cameras, that's basically it. Ah, a missile door. Yeah. I mean, like, and obviously I get the, at least when it comes to the latter, the part where it temporarily stops existing, I kind of get, like, what the point of that is, because it's supposed to tease you the idea that, like, eventually you'll get a visor that lets you easily lock onto it. Hey, Arian. Cool to see you stop by. We're already deep into Metroid Prime 2. Okay. Heading up on the Forgotten Bridge soon. Good enough, I guess. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm seeing now what you were talking about earlier, Grunt. Yeah, the Grunchlers. Like the next step from the She-Goths. Water-based reptilian predator. Back shell's vulnerable to explosive blasts, however. Yep. Yep, that's right. Now I'm remembering. Yeah, these were just she-goths in function. Holy shit. Yeah, they're spiky puppies. They're spiky good boys. It's a shame that we have to kill them because otherwise they'll kill us. Twitch on mobile is weird. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I generally avoid using things on mobile if, like, there's a better alternative, which is just using my web browser. So I have no idea how it looks, how this stream would possibly look for people that generally watch Twitch on mobile. Probably not that good, considering that my main gimmick is using a scanline and, like, CRT overlay for when it comes to playing these old analog retro games. Okay. Alright, bloat sack. Gas generating platform. Too lazy to get up from the bed, though. Fair. Admittedly, I have a laptop these days, so it's like if I'm in a situation where I'm too lazy to get out of bed, that's what I have the laptop for. Okay, that's nice. Like, every now and then I always start thinking about or having, like, second doubts about whether or not... Just learn to fall asleep in your computer chair. Problem solved. Yeah, problem solved for everything except your long-term posture, but who cares? But yeah, it's like, it's the sort of thing where, like, when it comes to, like, kind of how I present the stream, I always am left wondering after a while, like, you know, if it's something that people actually do appreciate, or if it's not getting in the way of them being able to tell what's actually on screen. Because I definitely have felt like, after several months of tinkering with this whole setup and, like scaling up the source footage, applying, like, the right amount of scan lines and, like, evenly scaling them up, it's like... Yeah, I would certainly hope that, like, if people aren't normally making mention of it, then that probably means that it's viewable and they don't need to, like, make mention of it. So hopefully that's just the case. My back hates me for it. Yeah. Okay. Ingsphere cache. And there's a Dark Sentinel crystal. Monitor system designed for use on Dark Ether. Yeah. I forget what else. Right, yeah, these things. These flog us. Yeah, pretty strong names, all things considered. Anyway, let's activate this bomb slot so it can change things in the other world. New idea. Strap your monitor to the ceiling above your bed and put the keyboard on one of those extendable lamp mic arms. As silly as it sounds, I mean, I've also thought something similar, and I'm like, that would be an amazing, like, feat of, like, tribute to laziness, I guess you could call it. Like, an amazing feat of, of engineering, or whatever you want to call it, all in the name of not having to do, to, like, move your body anywhere. Oh, God. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Now we got pirates that also have this cloaking ability. God damn it. Oh dear, come on. We'll consider when I move back to my place. Okay. Damn it, where are these things? Yeah, just... Oh my god. Well, at least that one's down. Let's make it like in Wall-E. Yeah, for some that really would be like the dream. Dang Chozo ghosts. God, yeah, it's like... These fuckers really are like the new versions of the Chozo ghosts. Except they're pirates, of all things. Okay. Now we can move on. Yeah. Abandoned work site. There's a... Oh. Oh god. That's right. Man, some of the names here in, like, Torvus Bog especially are hilarious. Freaking Sporb. That's seriously the best that they could come up with for a name like that. Oh wait, no, I see what I need to do. There's a place to roll into with the morph ball. Got it. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there was another hole right here. Damn it, it's seriously not just gonna proc on me right now? Oh, whatever. Probably if I come at it from the other way. And here we are, back at the Great Bridge. Spitting orbs? Spore orbs? Yeah. I don't know. It's silly, but also I think it's like... I mean, there is another enemy that we get introduced to in Torvus Bog that is extra, that is also its own kind of hilarious. Yeah, that's something I noticed afterwards, what was happening there. And this one is, yeah, it's Denzium. It's only power bomb material. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, now I'm remembering now. We're coming up on the temple, and we're going to be getting another very, very good item. Oh! Nice entrance. Okay. Nice. You know, let's freeze these people with the power of dark. Why not? It still feels real dumb to me, just that the dark beam and light beam really are just like they're just the ice and plasma beams from Prime 1, but with a different coat of paint. And they have to have like an ammo system on top of it to try and balance it out. Yeah, whatever. At least the final beam, the Annihilator beam, is pretty cool. And the charge combos you get in this game are, like, nuts. There was even something that I discovered that would, like, basically through, like, the dark freezes. Yeah, and light burns. Shut up, it makes sense. Yeah. But again, it's like the, what you get in terms of, like, the charge combos for these beams are, like, way more distinct. Like, like, those combos for the dark beam and light beam aren't just doing the same effects as the charge combos for the ice and plasma beams from Prime 1, for instance. Like, dark beam's charge combo, like, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, it just creates a black hole that sucks everything in. That's the best part. And then it's like, light beam's charge combo, if I'm remembering correctly, is basically the BFG, but like with a ton more brightness to it. But it's this idea where it's like it's a big ball of light that is like shooting out like rays of light towards like nearby enemies. Dark usually is anti-gravity or something. Yeah. Again, it's just like it's the basic firing functions of these are like, they're not very inspired. That's the core problem. There we go. Get another drink. Okay. So, yep. Giving us our mission for this area, which is the same as the last time. Because, like, so much of, like, the game's loop is based around going to a new area, get 3 keys to access the boss, fight the boss, take the energy from Dark Aether's temple, and bring it back to Light Aether. All right. Now we got a new color translator module. And there's a new piece of lore, Dark Aether. Yeah. Sounds like 7. Yeah. In time, we created machines to open rifts to our enemy's world. Volunteer scouts went through the rifts. Yeah, it sounds like Zelda. Yeah, that's always been the sort of thing that I kind of found a bit underwhelming about like the world design, at least initially when it came to Prime 2, where it was just like yeah, it has the light world, dark world concept, which, you know, jumping between 2 worlds is something that isn't new to Zelda. It's done it multiple times, whether it's literal light and dark world or it's going between time. So to kind of see just how, like, a lot of key progression in Prime 2 is based around you needing actual keys that have no gameplay practicality was always that was always the sticking point for me. And it still kind of is, but Not as much as it used to, just because I think I was still able to find other things about what the game does and, like, appreciate it. Especially in the context of the trilogy. Because think about it. Metroid Prime 1 through 3, they're all great games. Some obviously better than others, you know? Prime 1 will pretty much always be like the fan favorite among the majority because it is basically Super Metroid but 3D. But the thing that is like admirable when you actually think about it is how much like the level design and map design and progression across all three games has some major fundamental differences. You know? Prime 1 is all focused around like the singular interconnected world on one planet that has like a lot of shortcuts. There's no like dedicated hub area where everything is immediately accessible. 2, meanwhile, goes for the more like traditional, I guess easier to build for, like hub and spoke design. I guess that's what I've usually heard it called, where it's like you have the central area that's like a hub, that's like the center of the circle, and then you have areas that are like attached like spokes on a wheel. And then Prime 3's, like, its major change that it brings is the idea of, like, multiple planets and using the ship, your gunship as a means to, like, get around. And, you know, obviously, you know, I can say I'm definitely on the side of people that likes the singular interconnected world of Prime 1 the most. That makes sense. But I still have enough of appreciation for the other things that 2 and 3 does. And yes, 2 also has the lamp train. That's pretty good. I'll give it credit for that. There we go. New energy tank. Super missiles still feel so great in how powerful they are. Seeker missiles, on the other hand, still buggy and silly. Yeah. Seeker missiles definitely feels like the sort of edition where, like, I think they were better realized as, like, a worthwhile tool by the time Retro made Prime 3 and then the Trilogy release. Because being able to point anywhere at the screen with ease using the Wii Remote to lock onto multiple targets is, like, a lot more elegant manner of, like, taking advantage of what the Seeker missiles can do, as opposed to, like, what the GameCube version kind of is only really able to let you do in terms of, like, controls. Because if you want to be able to, like, manually aim everywhere, you have to hold down the right trigger and stay in place in order to, like, lock on to multiple targets. You know, something like this. It was at least a neat first step when they introduced them in this game. But again, they were definitely made much more viable when they got to Prime 3. We developed crystals that brought the light of ether to the dark world. Using these crystals allowed our warriors to explore the enemy lands to bring war to the Ing. However, they were not enough. We needed stronger weapons, better armor, and all that. We withdrew from Great Ether while our greatest minds devised new engines of war. Okay, hold on. Okay, unless I'm missing something. Should be... Missile pickup. Nice. Yeah, I need to double check around here because there's supposed to be a missile expansion in this little hallway. At least I think there is. Oh, yeah, there is. Got it. Okay. Now we're at the Grove. And they're the regular commandos. Huh. These ones at least, let's see. Limited use shield repels most attacks. Yeah. So instead of going invisible, they do have a shield that temporarily stops like full frontal attacks. There we go. I will say, I think that's like a detail about like about the dark beam that I don't like as a result of it trying to fill the role of the ice beam, is that when you do a charge shot with it on them, like it doesn't freeze them instantaneously like it normally would in Prime 1 with the ice beam. It's like you shoot them, and then you have to wait like an extra second or so in order for the actual freeze effect to take hold. It was always kind of frustrating, I found. Light beam, meanwhile, didn't really have that problem. It just burned them away, given enough time. Okay. Yeah, meditation vista. Okay. Oh yeah. And on the and even more on the subject of this game and some of the things it was infamous for, mainly the difficulty. We're actually coming up very soon on another boss that is one of the two most infamous for people that played this game. We actually got a bit of a hint about it in the previous room, where there was like those ramps kind of leading up to where the pirate commandos had basically like come down from. They look like the sort of thing where like if you had the boost ball, you could clearly do something about that. Yeah, we're gonna have to fight the Boost Guardian pretty soon. Oh boy, here's the huntering. Elite warriors. Facing shapeshifter, deadly in close combat, dislikes bright lights. Nice. Huh. Well, that worked out. I'm impressed. Don't think I've ever used the dark beam for its freezing power. It's always been a sort of side effect that doesn't matter much. Yeah, I think it works decently enough. Like as long as you're obviously using it for dealing with like non-dark enemies, obviously, because there's obviously element affinity to it. So naturally, you're not going to get much benefit from trying to use that to freeze like the ing or anything like that. Just doesn't work. Trying to find again. Where the hell do I... Oh, okay, I see. The platform was just right behind. Now we can start climbing. Whew. Thank you for the save point. We're clearly gonna need it. I'll be very interested to see how I handle fighting the Boost Guardian in its original form, considering I've made mention multiple times how, like, the only version of Prime 2 I've ever, like, done complete playthroughs of was the Trilogy release. So, yeah, we're gonna be getting the Boost Guardian unedited, which was tuned the way it was precisely because, as it turns out, the game's producer, Kensuke Tanabe, the guy that constantly stands for Silux and wants him in the next Prime game, basically was the one that told Retro, you have to make this harder. And I think it was only by the time the Trilogy release came around where they fixed it. They were like, yo, we're changing this back. This did not work out. And I think he even admitted as much as, like, yeah, I think I pushed it too hard. But I can kind of see where he was going, because at least if some of the interviews with ex-Retro devs I've seen are like of any thing to consider, it seems that a lot of them give a lot of props to Tanabe when it comes to as far as like how to make really engaging boss fights. Oh. Yep. Light enemies tend to die so quickly, so it makes no difference. Yeah, I suppose so. Oh, there it is. There's that bastard. Okay. There we go. Boost powered warrior ing. Boost ball ability grants great speed to enemy. Target can only be damaged in solid form. Find a way to keep it solid. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. So far, not too bad. Oh, right, this bullshit literally turns into its own morph ball, of all things. Yeah, it's worse if you haven't maxed your upgrades before getting here, of course. Yeah, and I basically have, like, all the possible, like, items you could hope to have, like, as far as, like, E-tanks and all that. God damn it. I'm trying to get it to see if we can, like, break down these remaining pillars. Come on. Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna check something. Dark Ether. Guardians. Sub-Guardians. Boost blast towards the enemy using its body's opponent weapon. When non-solid form, engaging in a morph ball mode may provide better attack. Right, yes, of course, that's what it's supposed to encourage you to do. Yeah, that's right. Now I'm remembering. Yeah, now I'm obviously remembering a bit more why people had so much trouble with this. Oh. Ah. Shit. Oh, come on. Deduct my freaking super missile. Oh, great. Now he's back to doing this shit. Oh, dear. I might actually die to this. Come on. Oh, shit. Oh, come on. I sidestepped that. What the hell? Oh my god, okay, I'm still hanging in there somehow. Okay, come on. Oh, shoot. Ooh, get it, get it, get it! Yes! No, no, please don't. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I could see why this got toned down. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure, like, if I recall, I think the difficulty of this fight was actually retained in the Trilogy version, but only if you were playing, like, on... I think it was, like, hyper mode or whatever, like the game's actual hard mode is. Okay. But at least I remember a bit more what I need to do, because, yeah, it's like I completely blanked on the fact that when when that thing starts using the boost ball proper, you have to, like, go into morph ball and actually bomb, like, the puddles. Whatever. We got this. This fight led to a lot of thrown controllers. Dude, I could totally get that. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'd already scanned those long ago. Okay. Yeah, there we go. When in doubt, just super missile. At the earliest opportunity. Yes! Alright. Round 2, bitch. You don't scare me. Ah. Got him. I'm taking a whole lot of damage the whole time, but at least it's working. Yes! Oh, look at that. 3 super missiles, and he's already down to, like, just under half health. Ooh, make that 3/4 down. Ow. Although he's not breaking any of these pillars, and I really wish he would. Oh, I think I just broke it. Oh, come on, come on. Oof. Oh, shit. There we go. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's definitely what it felt like. Because, again, I had, like, forgotten what I needed to do as far as, like, when he turns into the morph ball itself. Oh, my God. This might be bad, though. Oh, fuck me. Took too long. Mostly let him knock you out of the charge when they didn't miss. Yeah. Although I think my other problem now is that it was, like... I really screwed up, like, on the final stretch. God damn it. That's okay. I at least learned now that, like, the better way of dealing consistently quick damage is to fire well-timed super missiles. The bigger problem then, obviously, is just the matter of, like, not taking unnecessary damage when he's boosting around all over the place. Because weirdly enough, actually, I'm gonna have to... You know, I'm gonna make a... I think my next strategy, I'm actually gonna do like a combo of what I did during the first and second run. The first run, like, you saw me do, when he was, like, boosting around, like, I was just in, like, non-morph ball mode and just jumping the entire time. And then, like, that seemed to help in avoiding a lot of, like, issues with damage, I guess. The tricky part then, obviously, is when it comes to, when it comes to actually, like, dealing damage to him when he's, like, in that kind of red puddle. I don't know. Hold on, let me top off on health just a bit. Okay. Let's do this again. Yeah. Basically just right as he's coming out of the puddle. It was easy. If it was easy, you wouldn't be streaming this as a professional gamer. Ain't that the truth? God damn. Okay, I think it's after 3. Yeah. That's it, yeah. I think that's the best way to deal with this, now that I think about it. Ow. Yeah, it's like after every 3 boosts, turns into a puddle. That's your opportunity to bomb it. There we go. I think I got this now. I got the ideal strat. There we go. Got it. Are you even allowed to learn a boss's patterns to defeat him? Isn't that like counting cards at the casino? Real funny. Oh yeah, that's right. And if it rams into like the pillar, that counts as like automatically putting it into its puddle form. I completely did not notice that detail. There we go. All right. Oh, come on. Ah, that is so annoying trying to dodge that. Okay. Now I think I could get one more super missile off if he does not do anything bullshit. Come on, pop out. Oh, come on. Yo! Eat shit, you fucking spider monster, whatever the fuck you are. Oh, yeah. 3rd time's the charm. God. God, that really was it. I got ing blocked. Son of a bastard. All right. Boost ball acquired. Wow. Good thing we won't have to deal with another pain in the ass boss for quite a while. It's a bit more smooth sailing from here, at least until we get to Spider Guardian. Time to smoke some half-pipes. You're goddamn right, that's what I'm gonna do. And of course, how convenient that they put us right back in a room where there's half-pipe. And we get one of the Dark Temple keys. God. Oh. This feels so liberating. Like, getting the boost ball in Prime 1 was a feeling of, oh, this is new and cool. In Prime 2, you get the boost ball and you're like, oh, thank freaking God. It's like so relieving. Because now you know it's at this point that they can start ramping up the boost ball puzzles again. I don't think I did. Although I don't think that one necessarily had a log or anything. I still have like a checklist that I'm running off of like scan order and like where items are to acquire them. So I know that there wasn't like any Luminoth lore on there. I just, like, even when it's for stuff that I know isn't being added to the logbook, I do occasionally let my compulsive scanning habits, like, shine through. Okay. Probably just said something about dying to boost impacts or something. Probably, yeah. Just getting rammed super hard in the chest by a giant ball. Okay, Polluted Hive, Gloom Vista. Yeah, we gotta head back to Light World proper now. Whew. What a triumph, getting through that fight. Because, yeah, it clearly went in specific steps. First was, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying to remember exactly how I did this. Second was, I know how to do this, but I was still making some very unoptimal mistakes. And then third was like I am at 100%. Download complete. All right. All right. Now then. Now we got to take that dark colored door. Oh. Probably should not have just boosted straight into the containers of Phazon, but whatever. I'm fine. Ah, come on. Okay, I am probably forgetting something as far as, like, how you actually get up to that dark door. Oh, wait, hold on. Right, no, it's not those, it's this. It's this half pipe right here. Duh. Okay. Let's see. Do we have anything new in here to scan? Oh yeah, these things. Crocus. Toxic eating forager. Heavily armored. Attack when it exposes its gills to damage it. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, we'll just keep moving forward. And finally, we can start using spinners again. Yeah, that just ends them instantly. So we're back at the Forgotten Bridge. Ruined Alcove, yeah. Now we just gotta go straight back to Temple Grounds, because there's some stuff that we can do now that we have Boost Ball again. Whew. Alright. Gonna give ourselves a little reprieve from this bog just to kind of see what new things that we can get with the toys we have. Should be fine. I'm pretty sure part of this backtrack also involves getting a few new things in Agon Wastes now. Okay. Back to it. You know, as blurred as it is, I do appreciate like how Prime 2 eventually occasionally just has rooms like these where you get like a huge view of like this skybox that is clearly just like a low-res JPEG, but at least like it gives enough info to kind of get your mind racing about like what the rest of this planet possibly looks like. If there are even parts of it that still somewhat resemble how the Luminoth described it looking. Oh yeah, we don't even need to go in here specifically. This series as a whole has some pretty nice vistas occasionally. Keeps exploration feeling rewarding for more than just power-ups. I can definitely agree on that. I gotta keep checking. I feel like there's like another one of those like lore projectors around here somewhere. I'm just gonna keep the scan visor out and just like double check my like possibly everywhere to make sure I don't miss it, because we know how much this game likes to hide these things. Yeah, okay. So that's... Oh, wait, hold on. Isn't there like a... Yeah, there's a little morph ball tunnel here. It's like a little shortcut. That's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I forgot. Like, that's a... It's a cool way to incorporate a shortcut, I gotta say. There we go. Alright, back in the Hall of Eyes. Guess that. Yeah, meeting grounds is just right over there. We don't have to deal with this dark portal again. At least not for a little while. Does feel nice. I like, as much as I do feel it adds a lot of complication to, like, the navigational flow in a Metroid game, I can absolutely see why some games would want to have, like, this dual world concept. Because the ways you could, like, design the loop through an environment and give you shortcuts that allow you to, like, circumvent the need for, like, doing constant world hopping later can feel really cool. I could totally see, like, what Retro is trying to go for. And at the very least, between this and Harmony of Dissonance, which is, like, the only other Metroidvania type experience I can think of with, like, a dual world concept, I will say this, at least I think handles it better than Harmony of Dissonance. It doesn't handle it perfectly for me, but it still, I think, says a lot just how kind of not as elegant it was in that Castlevania game. Okay, the Hall of Honored Dead. And a new item. It kind of was too, but I think it was also, like, a lot easier to kind of get behind that concept because the way it ended up working with, like, the Upside Down Castle was that it was literally the second half of the game. There wasn't really necessarily the idea of, like, you needing to continue to do more of this, like world hopping, I guess it was. Okay. Admittedly, also, like, when talking about something like Harmony of Dissonance, funny enough, is like... That is very much in a situation similar to Prime 2, where it's like, the execution I do not find that is pretty good, but it's the sort of thing where, like, I still enjoy the game largely in spite of those faults, because the other things it has unique to it are worth having stand out, I guess. Okay, I am very much... Okay, so now I gotta just focus on, like, these outer two rings, if it's at all possible. Come on. Oh, there it is. Good. We got this, finally. Just enough dicking around, finally solve this spinner puzzle. There we go. And funny, we were actually talking about the Seeker missiles a while back. Now we got them. Press and hold Y to charge the Seeker. Move the targeting reticule over targets to lock on. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, that's basically how it goes. And voila! Okay, Path of Honor, Service Access. Oh yeah, and I think we'll be coming back up on the landing site, actually. Nothing else in here for the time being. There he is. Another Luminoth Testament. Works great until a target's obscured by a pixel of level geometry or is half a millimeter off camera. Yeah. Its practical use case in this game really is just for like those for those multi-locks than it is in anything regarding combat, where like a whole lot of extra factors can make things go wrong. No, I'm here. They will come to this site to plunder the key. My last stand shall be at the edge of the temple grounds. I only hope I have the strength to fight when they arrive. And look at that. That's quite a very rewarding loop around to get back to your ship. Because you go a long time in this game without being able to access it again. Finding really clever and rewarding ways to build out loops in an interconnected game world. Except for a certain giant corrupted butterfly monster, of course. Oh god, that's right. I completely blanked on Chica. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a fun time, I can tell. Okay. We gotta go back to Hive Chamber A this time. Oh yeah, I could probably scan this to just get the access available and done out of the way. But right now, we gotta jump back down here. Wow, it literally just like plays this cutscene again every time you want to make this transition. I'm kind of surprised. I guess it's just a... Yeah, I guess it is just an issue or something regarding, like, loading. Oh. New mini-boss. Deceased GF soldier armed with missile launcher. Yep. Okay. There. And he had a missile expansion. Yep, that's the end of that chapter. Okay. Tunnel, command center, storage, chamber B. Alright, make our way to chamber B. That should be where there's another missile expansion that we can use. Well, these worker splinters are still going to work on these corpses. Alright. Whatever works for them. Ooh. Okay. Now then. Where would this room be hiding another one? Yeah, because that goes into C, which we don't want yet. Oh, yeah, that's right, of course. There's that tunnel that we can now bomb open. Duh. Ow. Punched me, asshole. Okay, next on the docket. Make our way to Agon Wastes. Just to get like a missile expansion, but that's fine. We could always use more missiles. Yeah, and there we go. Both sides of that gate unlocked. Perfect. Okay, let's see. What does the checklist want me to do? Go to this save station, which I believe has the thing, the blue root tree that I had actually already... I believe I had already actually scanned that. Yeah, so... Transport center, there's a portal that we can take. So I guess, yeah, that's pretty much where we're going first. Let's see. Let's make an extra save, because why not? Remember the ABC of Prime, always be scanning. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like always be charging would probably be like a good one. As far as like, you know, referencing like the charge cannon, but yeah, always be scanning, that's pretty good. Yeah, there's the blue root tree. That was already scanned long ago. And oh, how convenient, another half pipe. Yeah, alright. And another missile expansion. So now we'll just head back to the portal site, use that portal to return to the light world. Okay. Ow. No, no. Not right now, you assholes. Goodbye. Huh. Actually, now looking a bit ahead at the stuff on my checklist as far as like things that will be getting along the way to 100%, there may be a chance I'll like by the end of this end of the stream session I'll be able to get the gravity boost and therefore make the rest of Torvus Bog following that like not a tiresome slog like it normally would be. This at least is cool, and it's the fact that like we got like another way to access Torvus Bog, but like from an area that isn't the temple grounds. That's the one thing that I think helps with still make the world design of Prime 2 work. Because even if it does highlight the fact that you have a central hub that all the major areas branch off from, it never feels like those areas that branch off are ever completely separated. There are still other entrances that connect the three primary areas to each other. So, like, it all works. It's just you don't... It just saves you on the amount of time you would probably need for, like, routing in order to figure out that the elevators that lead to certain areas only are available in other areas prior. And there we are. We're back under Torvus Temple. Heavy chemical damage. Something like that, yeah. Alright. Yeah, it's basically a second hub for this chapter of the game. Kinda is, for sure. But now we gotta go through the part of Torvus Bog I definitely dislike the most. If only because of what you have to go through before you get the ability that makes it 1,000 times smoother. Yep. That said, though, hope you enjoy a remix of Meridia's music from Super Metroid. It's so good. It really is. Like, Retro had already used up their free pass to use a remix of Norfair's theme in Prime 1, so they had to think of another theme to take from that game and use here. And honestly, for an area that's filled with water, Meridia's music is pretty fitting. It's a shame, though, that you have to wade through so much of this murky water. And there it is. There's the blog. Yep, make your WordPress jokes here now, people. Or whatever the hell. Also, I think I might have jumped down like at the wrong angle or whatever to get the missile expansion. Unless I'm... Hold on. Local interference blocking scan visor. It's the living personification of a live journal post. Yeah, that sounds about right. But at least you see there, that's like the main gimmick with fighting these. You shoot them in order to get their attention. They charge at you head first. You shoot them in the mouth with a missile. Boom, dead blog. Ponderous, depressed, unable to get hit on. There we go. I need to get to that platform that lets me... No, no. Oh, come on. Okay, security locks disengage. Disengage all locks to gain access to secure areas. Right, okay. That's the whole deal of this. So yeah, that was the first log right behind me. Puzzle gimmick identified. Yep. Now to commence this going on for way longer than it needs to because goddamn, man. Trudging through this water. Again, it'll be so nice once we actually get the gravity boost. Let's see, is this training access? Yes, it is. Good. Oop. We can leave that big chamber for a little while now. God, it's so slow. Ooh. That looks very Chozo-ish, that statue, and oh look who it is. Ah. Where the... There. Okay. And Dark Troll Samus appears to do nothing but mess with you for no reason at all. Yeah, ain't that true. God. Like, the time in between when you first fight her and when you fight her a second time really does feel like it takes forever. Like, longer than it actually is. Like, you first deal with her in Agon Wastes, like, fairly early on. And then you get trolled by her just showing up briefly here in Torvus. And then it's, like, quite a ways into Sanctuary Fortress, you finally get a rematch. And that's when, like, things really kick into high gear with those Dark Samus fights. Transit Tunnel East, yeah. I forget, will this actually lead there? Yep, it is. I do like, at least when going through here, I like this kind of transition room. Prime 1, Ridley blows up the ship you're on, flies over you briefly, then nothing forever until the big slap fight over the impact crater. Yeah, and what a slap fight it was. Just boost balled into him to destroy his wings and then just bullied him with the wave buster because I had 250 missiles to spare. That was great. Yeah. They're really good at coming up with like engaging ways to just mask loading for these games, and like and just any and all way to avoid hitting you with just a blank now loading screen. Okay, so we're at the catacombs. Should be some more lore that we can pick up. There it is, the new terror. The Ing begin to possess Luminoth as well as creatures. Friends and family members become the enemy, spilling Luminoth blood across the land. Desperate, we devise shielding to prevent their possession. Effective but not perfect. Should it fail, all Luminoth were prepared to self-terminate rather than become a weapon for the Ing. Jeez. Okay. Okay, just get out of the water, please. All right, thank you. Ah, there he is. There's another Luminoth. Yeah, it's not like they don't already have a whirling ball gif ready to go for loading purposes. Yeah. Okay, now we are at Catacombs Access. And looping back around to the Hydra Dynamo Station. Nice. Yep, now to trudge back through the low, draw-distance, muddy waters. Oh, nice! Oh god, I didn't even know that happened. Like, just the lock disengaging just flipped up and just crushed that, that blog. Bloggling. Youthful, aggressive blogs. Okay. The Bloglings are alright. They don't even have invulnerability states. I know, that's the best part. I appreciate that. Okay, but we gotta go back to training access in order to take another route that will lead us to the final... to like the final switch that we need to activate and get lower. Oh, now we got these things. Seed bursters. Exploding swarms of plant forms. Yep. Yeah, definitely. It's very, very much like the... What were they? Like the scarabs, I think they were? Yeah. Very similar, like another in the long lines of enemy types that are defined as being swarms of creepy crawlies. Now we just gotta go west. And the not a puffer we swear at the beginning of this area. Right, yeah. The Preeds, as they call them. And it's funny, too, because the Preeds, like... I don't even think we necessarily got a proper introduction to the regular versions of those. We, like, the first introduction we saw were of, like, the dark versions. Yeah, so it's interesting how that worked out. Concealed movement pad designed to confuse the ing. Shoot light crystal on lower surface to flip the pad over. Makes sense. New weapons. Studies of the ing revealed the source of their attacks as dark energy. We built weapons to use this energy, thinking you could overload enemy targets and eliminate them. Makes sense. And so, unfortunately, they soon learned their error, as the dark beam was not a great effect on the ing. Not a lava clam, we swear. This weapon would dispatch the ing with terrible efficiency. Yeah. Ooh, got him. There's a little crack there, which we can't do anything with because that's densium. Okay. Ow. Oh, man, should have been a bit more out of the water before I tried that double jump. State of transdimensional flux. Great. Okay. And we got us a new portal. I never get sick of looking at that dark suit. Every time, it's such a cool design. Wish this game had chosen to not go so hard into the shoot a thing with the opposite beam thing. Makes everything confusing and sometimes doesn't work. Yeah, it's really like a common pitfall, I feel, with like a dual element kind of polarity system, I guess you could call it. Because there's obviously like one game I can think of that obviously does that concept correctly, and that's Ikaruga. But a lot of that is because, like, if you shoot an enemy in Ikaruga with the same polarity, it deals normal damage. But if you shoot with the opposite, it does more. You know? Most games don't really go for that if they try. They always treat it like shooting with the opposite ammo is like the normal damage, and shooting with the same is either less or nullified. Which is, it's not really fun. Come on, where are you? God, dealing with these bastards is just not fun. Like, they somehow, like, landed on a new concept for the Chozo goats that feel, like, way less satisfying in comparison. Oh god, that electrical interference is really fucking with me. Yeah. Like, because at least with the Chozo ghosts, there was at least, like, enough consistency in, like, when they disappear and then when they reappear. With these Dark Commandos, they really do spend way more time, it feels like, actually just being invisible and unable to lock on. And then, of course, obviously, there's the fact that they repel missiles, and that it would really be nice if you could just use them, if only to, like, speed the encounters along. Otherwise, it is, like, extending it way past where it would be, like, tolerable. Okay, but it's just one more that's left in here. Come on. If you take too long, they just get bored and despawn, leaving everyone unsatisfied. Yeah! Yeah, that's a real annoying thing that they do. Like, what is even the point, then? I mean, even when they show up on radar again for you, it's like, by the time you're able to turn around and, like, notice they're there, they're still, like, in a state of flux, and then they just disappear away again. Oh my god. Just fucking die. Oh, finally. I just happened to catch him in just the right spot to just vaporize him with like an energized light crystal. Oh, fuck. Okay, good. Now then, what do we do? Barrier shield is indestructible. Find its control crystal and energize it to deactivate the barrier shield. Yeah, like so. That's we could just head back right now. Turning that laser was all we needed. Multi-dimension drifting. God. I don't even want to think about how nutty that would look. Okay. Let's get back up top. Now that we've redirected the laser. Yep. And a kinetic orb cannon. Got it. Alright, back to... Alright, we're in gathering access. We're heading back on the Hydrodynamo station. That's good. At least you can still boost ball in the water, however slowed down it may be. And there it is, the final security lock. Oh goody, now we can go even deeper. God, just really, the more I continue to think about it, the more I realize that, like, Dread really did this kind of non-gravity suit extended water traversal in a way more engaging way than Prime 2 did in the end. Like, there's just, like, a better sense of build-up in that, especially with, like, the certain acquisition of powers you got prior to the gravity suits. That made it feel a lot more bearable. Yeah, I know about the fight coming up that you're talking about. It can be a particularly agonizing one. And yeah, there it is. The Alpha Blogg. Immense Blogg pack leader. Which will fire sonic disruption blasts at foes, has all strengths and weaknesses of its brethren. Can fire potent sonic stun blasts, will disrupt your visor and weapon control systems if they hit you. Its 3 titanic maws are potent weapons. Target the creature's mouth area to inflict damage upon it. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's still... You still fight it like a regular Blogg. It's just tankier and more annoying. Down in storage. A little too much time spent invulnerable for your taste. Yeah, I can absolutely get that. There's a certain balance you can achieve for sure when it comes to, like, you know, making it so that you can't just have a one-sided dunk on a boss the whole time. But sometimes it can go in that other direction of just making you wait way more than is necessary. Oh, look at that. This is another thing that I really like. That's like an extension of how much different in look and design like your suit upgrades are. Like, we don't get the gravity suit. We get a module that we just attach to our suit that gives us the effects of the gravity suit. And it meshes, like, so nicely with the rest of the Dark Suit's design. It's really great. And we can at least see a bit farther now. And it's a good thing we got it because we'll need it for this asshole. Steampunk Plus. Yeah, I can totally see that. Okay, let's try. Nice. Okay. Just keep timing super missiles. Or not. That kind of didn't work because he kind of lost Hacker on me. There we go. Okay, even if I'm trading blows, I think it's worth it. Or not. That wasn't worth it that time. God damn it. Okay. And it's getting a bit harder to be able to, like, manually proc him and still get off a super missile, like, on his weak spot. I might have, like, used up all my chances for that now that I think about it. Ah. Yeah, and of course it's... Okay, that actually worked. Alright. Oh, I think I fired a bit too soon. It didn't hit the inside. Oh, come on. He literally stopped his charge halfway through. It's like he knows. See, he did that again. Okay, but I should still be playing it safe, honestly. Okay, alright. That was worth it. He's got a little bit left. Oh, come on. Oh, are you kidding? Why is the... Oh my god. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh. That was way more clutch than I would have liked to have had it. God. Oh. I need a drink. Oh, yeah, I think that was like the closest I've had any one of those fights go for me. Cannot believe that that is what happened. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the other cool thing about the gravity boost. Just completely glossed over it even when it was in the description. But the whole fact is like, when underwater, it's like, you don't just have your regular space jump, you have a triple jump that just like boosts you even higher. Yeah, those are all... Yeah, those are all like like things that would have been very appreciated to have. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to like take the... Oh wait, no, there's a portal in the shaft that I need to take. I wish gravity boost worked outside of Torvus too. Yeah, that'd be nice. I kind of get the sense that they probably wanted to, but couldn't because they also wanted to include the screw attack. And that is another situation where it's like you use up your space jump and you press jump again to activate its effects. Because off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's like the screw attack does not work underwater. So to compensate, you have the gravity boost to help when being underwater, which I guess works well enough. Otherwise, yeah, having a triple jump is like really novel and nice to have, honestly. Okay, now back to the Dark World. In order to get a key. That's true, yeah. Because of how long like your third jump in a gravity boost works, it kind of like cuts out the need for like the first maybe 2 screw attacks in the chain. Because the way it works in the Prime games is that like when you activate screw attack, you basically get to get 5 additional jumps until you fall back down. All right. I mean, either way, it's like because of how different like movement, how mobility is different in Prime compared to the 2D games. Like, it's no wonder that it's no wonder that they can't have the space jump be replicated exactly the way it is in the 2D games, where it's literally a series of infinite jumps. You know, that'd be... But, like, for the way that they go about, like, designing these environments and making them contained, it would really feel like... It would either lead to situations feeling way too cramped to use it, or it would have, like, real open 3D spaces that would just feel immediately more trivialized than it would in a 2D game. That, and also having to continually keep in mind spatial awareness when you're in a first-person perspective and whatnot. But that's whatever. Honestly, making the space jump in the Prime games just a simple double jump was probably, like, the right call in the end. Okay, we're back at the station. Catacombs. Yeah. Gotta make our way back up to that dark door. Or what used to be. Oh, wait, no, not that. That's not... Yeah, that's training access. But yeah. Torvus Bog immediately just feels better to play through now that we finally have this incredibly crucial tool. Oh! Nope. That was... fell down. Shoot. Oh, but let's go through here because we can get an energy tank now. Assuming I'm not forgetting. Oh, wait, no, that's right. I have to do it here first. Because now that we got gravity boost, our bomb jump physics actually work normally. Oh, yeah. A little repeat of this particular water jet bomb jumping puzzle. Oh, but now it's on a timer. Oh, come on. Okay, I am clearly screwing it up somewhere. Yeah, I'll just reset. I always had such a hard time adjusting to, like, that physics change when trying to bomb jump up water jets. Oh, come on. Ah. I'll get it. Yeah, it's just I always have the habit of doing it way too early. Or too late sometimes, but mostly early. Got it! Okay, good. Now we can head back. Go to the catacombs, take the portal. Yeah, that's definitely something where it's like, that helps a lot. And I was starting to get that at the end, where I was going, oh yeah, I should probably be, like, finding, like, a visual guide to make it easier on me. And eventually I did. Okay, I need... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's how you unlock it. Oh, yeah, just activate this to make our way to the dungeon. And let's make our way to the next Guardian boss we're going to have to deal with, which has our grapple beam. Oh, and hey, here's the Dark Grenchlers. Dark Spike Puppies. There. See, portals need some polarity, but crystals need opposite polarities, and they're right next to each other in the level. Why do this? Oh, God, yeah. It's ridiculous. Okay, and... yeah, under transit 2... got it. Oh yeah, another hunter. Yeah. Yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna keep moving. Doors need same polarity, monsters need opposite. Yeah. God, yeah, just the more I think about it, it's really ridiculous. How, like, it doesn't, like, keep, like, some level of, like, consistency across every single element that can be affected by it. Wait, hold on. There's a missile expansion in here I could get. I just realized. Alright, back through the tunnels. Oh! And I think I saw where it was. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. For real, though, it's like you can see it, like, right out of that, like, through that peephole. Like, that's where the missile expansion is. Like, I'm forgetting, like, where the correct path is that I need in order to get in there. Is it a bomb chop puzzle or a boost thing? That's the problem. I'm not sure. Because I don't think the... yeah, because it doesn't seem to be like a thing with bomb jumping. Like, there's not enough height to really take advantage of it. The thing is, I would think that this is the correct solution, but I feel like there's an invisible wall or something that's just blocking me. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make a note of where that is and get it later, probably for next stream, because the last thing I want to do for this session before calling it quits is get to the Grapple Guardian, get that ability, and then go to a save point and call it. Oof, that was close. Save that jump. Okay. Crypt Tunnel, that's where we're at. Just gotta keep moving forward. Yeah. Yeah, part of me also kind of feels similarly. Like, I recall having moments with the fight where it does feel like a bit of a chore. There we go. That's one. Vaporized. Come on, get in here. Got it. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna need a power bomb. Right, this is how you get back up top. Okay. Okay, now we're saved. We got our health back. Oh yeah, that didn't have a log. It's fine. All right. Sacrificial chamber tunnel. Yeah. We're right on track. We'll take care of this sub-guardian. Farm out some ammo as well, why not? There. That's about even enough. Ah, venom weed. That somehow does not get counted as something in the logbook. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's like the Grapple Guardian is like a super mutated Grenchler. Okay, Grapple Beam powered Darkling. Well-armored target utilizes Grapple Beam to ensnare enemies. Weak spots detected, back shell, and eye. Uses a special attack when angered. Pull them into its waiting jaw. The beam is powerful, can attach to most surfaces, including your armor. Its eye region is sensitive. Damage in the area can induce a state of anger in the target. Weak spot under the back shell is a prime target as well. When angered, it will use a special attack. Right. Right, yeah, I can totally see why, like, it leads you into feeling like it's a bit more of a chore because it has two weak spots where one of them is, like, more preferable than the other. But the more preferable weak spot is hard to get because he'll quickly turn around. Yeah, like that, see? That's right. Yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Of course, because I have super missiles. Let's get him to try and grapple these pylons. Can spend like 90% of the fight in a light beam healing up when he's stomping around. Yeah, for sure. But anyway, let's try and get him to... Yeah! Oh, look at that damage. But yeah. It's not really a hard fight when it comes to, like, dealing with sustained damage because you have these safe zones. It just takes a while. Because the real weak spot is, of course, the one that is, like, a lot harder to get normally. Oh my god. Are you serious? Okay. There, yeah. Super missiles are your biggest friend in Metroid Prime 2. Yeah, yeah, yeah! Yeah, this is how you really speed it up. Come on. Yeah, once you master dodge circling and basic not getting hit lessons, it's pretty much like a walk in the park. I very much agree with that. Oh, look at that. Now he's going berserk. Just like the Grenchlers, we got rid of its back shell. Now it's gone real pissy. Still, at the end of the day, a lot of these sub-bosses still like leaps more engaging than it is with the what is it, the ones in Prime 1. You know? Like, those are so much more simple in hindsight. Although this part, obviously, like, we were talking about walk in the park, this becomes a bit more troublesome because now these pylons that you could bait him into grappling are no longer active. You still have, like, the safe zones, though. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, this is more or less where the real fight begins, and it's only when he's, like, at less than 20% health. It's kind of nuts. Okay. If I forget exactly. Right, I gotta... Because I feel like I've been starting to notice that, like, his health's not really going down any further when I get behind him. Use grapple energy to protect itself. Damage to its eye will disrupt this ability, however. Okay, yeah. Yeah, at this point, yeah, that's right, because the back shell, it no longer has... Like, it no longer can be damaged because it's already been destroyed. Yeah, my mistake. I was wasting time. Whatever. Yep, okay. We got him. Yeah. Just gets real hectic and a tad bit unclear once he's in that final phase. But as always, it's not a big deal. Boost Guardian was still way worse than this. At last. Good old grapple beam. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely how it feels. And there we go. Scan the grapple point. Okay, so with that done, I'm gonna make my way back to that save point in, like, the big, what was it called? The Undertemple shaft. I'm gonna go there, I'm going to use the save room, and then that will be it for today's session. I think that's a very satisfying amount of progress we've made overall. You know? We got the gravity boost, the grapple beam. We took out a Morbus. Made a whole lot of progress. There it is. And then I'll also look up afterwards, just try and figure out from memory, like, if I'm, like, what it is I'm screwing up with that one missile tank that's in the, that's, like, in the under transit tunnel. The one that I could clearly see in those tunnels, but, like, for whatever reason, it was not letting me access. I'll look that up in between streams, so I'll have that knowledge going into the next session, which will be Monday, as usual. That's it. Thanks for tuning in and just sticking around for me, just plowing through this game. It really is nice to get the perspective again, where, like, when I don't play some games for a while, it is a lot easier to just hone in on like the things you're critical about, until you go back to play it and realize that because the rest of it is so good, you find yourself not being bothered by it in the moment nearly as much. This is still a great game. Even if I rank it at the bottom of the trilogy, it is still heads and toes above a whole lot of other games out there. But yeah, that'll do it. Take care, everyone. Later.